Hello and welcome to season 4 of the NGO Whisperer show. My name is Dr. Carolyne Opinde. I am the founder of the NGO Whisperer and the convener of the NGO Whisperer Masterclass, the official sponsor of the NGO Whisperer show. Today, joining us from Windhoek, Namibia, is Emmarencia van Wyk. She is a human resource practitioner and certified image consultant, and also a philanthropist and the founder of Makeanoise Community Safety and Crime Prevention. Emmarencia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carolyne. It's really a pleasure, an honor to be on your show. I've always followed, what you're doing with other NGOs, and I think being on the show is absolutely a blessing.
To start us off on this part 1 of this episode, people-centered programs, we're going to look at the work that Emmarencia van Wyk has implemented in Namibia. Would you please share with us, who is Emmarencia van Wyk?
Well, Dr. Pina, that's a very interesting or a very great start, to our conversation. Emmarencia van Wyk is an ordinary woman, coming from a middle-class family, and who saw the need, to develop herself. And I've got quite an interesting journey. I'm coming from a household, where we're raised, 5 daughters, and as said, a very standard household. And I have, it just created a passion within myself, to really upskill myself, because many years ago, our parents could not afford to send all the children, to universities and etc. And with my first job, working for the Namibian Stock Exchange and becoming the listings officer, that really opened up many doors for me, because it was interesting enough, it was actually the first work agreement or contract I've signed where 100% accuracy was required, because you're working with people's money. And I think that really shaped me into becoming a very, focused person in everything that I do, and to do and deliver with, with quality. And going forward, I had the privilege to work for, a couple of great corporates, like Balu World. But prior to Balu World, I worked for the De Beers Marine Group. And then I moved to Balu World, which is a blue chip company. And Balu World opened up many opportunities for me. My MD, Mr. Dina Chetty, and I had an amazing relationship. I was the executive secretary for the managing director. And and whilst at Balu World, I just decided that I want to do my own thing. And one day I just went to see Mr. Chetty, and I told him, but Mr. Chetty, I don't have the passion to be a secretary anymore. I want to do my own thing, and he was really inspiring, I would never forget, he bought me one of those huge suitcases, that you give that the lawyers carry. And he said, Emmarencia, I hope it's going to become full of money. So yeah. And, at the age of 30, I started my training consultancy, which is SECTS. And I was actually instrumental to train the city police in our country, on community policing, on interviewing and interrogation, forensic investigations. And yes, I'm not an expert in those fields, but what I did is that, through my travels to, for example, South Africa, that's where a community policing started in Johannesburg. I would never forget. And I picked up this idea and I thought, wow, let me bring this back home. and our country was just in the process of also starting community policing. And I went to Chief Kanume, who is the head of community policing for city police in our country. And I said, Chief Kanume, I've got all the contacts of the experts, and I can offer the specialized training. And yeah, you know, I was featured all over publications in the media, because at that point I was the first organization offering, you know, the specialized training like forensic investigations, detection of forged documents, statement analysis, in etc. In Namibia. So yeah, that's obviously an honor, you know. Today, our city police is very well established, very well skilled, and they're doing great. Yes, and the one thing led to the other, you know. Obviously through the publication that I got, organizations start to approach me for other needs, you know. And being the people person I am, I thought, you know what, let me focus on customer service, because it's something that up to today really frustrates me. You know, it's that we lack customer service. And I believe that customer service is the heart and the core of every organization's success. And now, coming to patient-centered programs, as you said, I think it was inspired by my passion to deal with people, but also my own experiences of what I've experienced being a customer myself, you know, and a lack of service in all industries, if I could say.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking today to a phenomenal, multi-dimensional, amazing leader in Windhoek, Namibia. And now we want to go into your human resource work that you do as a human resource practitioner and certified image consultant. You are providing training to medical professionals on patient-centered care and emotional intelligence. Indeed, you are a people's person, and you have always done your work focused on customer satisfaction. How did you get into working with medical practitioners or professionals and helping them to be emotionally intelligent and be patient-centered?
You know, Dr. Carolyne, now that one is really an interesting program, I must tell you, because, you know, I've been delivering this program to many hospitals in our country, but also to medical practitioners. And many times I receive the question, and people ask me, are you a doctor? and I said, no, I'm not a doctor. But yeah, so I think passion is the driving force here. I think because of my passion to always want to make a difference, you know, I did research. Yeah, and so, you know, and I love doing research from time to time into different industries. And I found that nobody reaches out to the medical profession, you know. And I thought, let me research this a little bit more. And I've got a very good relationship with the Roman Catholic Hospital, because I've done quite a lot of work for them in the country. So one day I went to see the superintendent, you know, and I asked her, what are your needs? You know, what do you think, you know, can make a difference in your hospital? And that's where she told me, you know, that the issues that they've been having, and or maybe the challenges, and what they would want to better. And based on that, I really did my research, and yeah, and I wrote the patient-centered manual, which I've got here, and you know, and I wrote out the training, and I trained over 300, almost 400 staff members in the Roman Catholic Hospital at first.
Well done, well done. You developed your manual and you trained 300 medical professionals. How did you start it all? You know, how did you approach the first hospital or the first facility to do this? We are curious, we want to know.
Dr. Carolyne, I think it's passion driving it once again, you know, and I think it's because of my love to want to see change within the workplace, in once again on customer service. So I went to see the management of the specific hospital, to establish their needs. What is that they want? What are their challenges? And based on that, obviously, I presented to the management committee, what I can offer to them. And yeah, I got the job and I trained them. And, that training opened so many doors for me. Because after training the hospital, I actually got a lot of inquiries from private medical practitioners. And with those inquiries, I decided to develop another program. And that is the medical receptionist program. So I have trained over 250 medical receptionists in the country on the medical receptionist program too.
Why hospitals? Why not supermarkets? Why not corporate organizations?
Okay, this is really just one industry that I've been serving. I will tell you another story after this. But why the medical professionals? Once again, I believe that there was a lack of service providers within this industry, and I also found that. People didn't know how to handle. Remember, if you are a patient, you're going to a doctor because you're not feeling well, right? And I think the medical receptionist plays such a vital role, as the host, to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel that, you matter. There are people who care. You understand? Some people go to a doctor, not just for normal flu, but because maybe they've got more chronic sicknesses. Some people are living their last days. That type of thing. So I think what I saw is the need for empathy. For medical professionals, especially, dealing with the matters in the circumstances that they are exposed to. And also, what was very important to bring across these programs was the patient confidentiality, which I actually, also again, consulting with few medical practitioners, found that it was really important to address it. Because for us, for example, living in a relatively small country compared to others, sometimes people share this information to relatives or friends, and it's not supposed to, So I know that many young professionals or doctors would call me and say, Emmarencia, please emphasize on confidentiality. So it's not only customer service, it's about how to handle difficult customers, for example, the different types of customers or impatient customers, professionalism in the workplace. What is your role, irrespective or what the customer is, but you have to remain professional, throughout your dealings with the customer.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 of People-Centered Programs with Emmarencia van Wyk from Namibia. Remember to join us next week for part 2 of this episode. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. It's all about connecting people, raising funds, and impacting lives globally.